Morning ladies and gents, welcome to Saturday morning. It's definitely a cold one this morning. There's a bit of a heart frost last night. It's a bit weird out. We're not going to start in here first. We're going to start on that. So, quick job, change the headlight bulb. They actually changed it last week, but there's no main beam on it. Don't know why. So, there's a quick job of pulling out, and you won't see it down there, but back at light bulb, popping the one in, job done. Try doing that on your Volvo, and then we'll set on with this. Right, so that's Land Rover done. Nice, quick, easy fix for once. As I said, I did do that last week, but the bulb was doing faulty. So yeah. So back to this old girl then. So yeah, radiator got sent away last week. I also sent some bits away to get painted week before last, I think it was. And they've come back. So, Brad's back and looking really good. This went to Auto Cool Radiators over at Scarborough. I think they used to have a few depots around Yorkshire, but they seem to have now settled back into, I think, 2 depots. I think Scunthorpe rings a bell and Scarborough. But they do a collection service as well for pretty much Yorkshire. I've had good reviews from them from the contracting lad that I get parts from. He's recommended them. And also when we did the 698 here, the massive 698, God, 10 years ago, good 10 years ago, they did the radiator as well. In fact, the lad actually remembered being on the estate to pick the massive one up. So, but yeah, looking good. He's blown it over, painted it, so it's looking good. So that can go back in now. Did decide to recore it because it were goosed. Aircon radiator as well. He pressure tested that for us. And really good of him. He didn't actually charge me for a pressure test. So at the moment I can go back in. I was wondering about getting this done as well, record, because this is at the front of the engine. This is the one that gets all the abuse from the stones and stuff going through that grille and the nose cone. But for the moment, it will do. He's actually straightened that up for us as well. Oh, good lad. So getting this off, I actually bent the bracket there and that pipe, but he seems to straighten out for us. So grand job. So for 2 of them, it was just over 500 quid for it, which I didn't think was bad. Our other person that's recommended this was Richard Dove off Dove Farms. If you've not seen Dove Farms, go and check him out. He's East Yorkshire, he's a bit further over from us, and he's about as straight talking as they come. So yeah, that was a grand job. So they're done. So really that means that I can go back in. But I do have a slight issue that that one's actually not too bad. But I need to repair this bracket. As you can see, it's a little bit worked. It should be like that. So need to do something with that. The rubbers that are under the radiator that fit down here, well, they're done. So I've ordered some of them, but I've forgotten they've not come yet. But I do have 2 fairly decent ones I could put back in. They just fit there on the other side. And then all this wants to clean up as well, to be fair. So yeah, that's the radiator. Pickup hitch. That got taken off last weekend. That was a pig to do. And I did actually break my breaker bar. So yeah, not good. To be fair, I did put a scaff bar on it as well. So anyway, that's off. That's going away to get fixed up as well, because there's all sorts once done. And this is the air intake. So looking really nice and shiny, looking clean, and that's the chock as well. So the Germans are quite strict with their road rules on what you have to have if you break down. And I think that was the wheel chock was part of it. I know you're supposed to have like high-vis jacket, a vest as well, and a warning triangle with you, which is supposed to be in the track as well, but they've obviously got lost over the years. But yeah, so that's looking really good. So even chains my mate's gone. It's all chains painted. They should be silver really, but I'm not too fussed about that. That's just looks smart. It won't ever get used anyway. And then yesterday, day before, I actually bought myself a new toy. So this is a a Draper metric and imperial 3/4 drive set. It's a thing that got off the pickup hitch bolts. I borrowed it from my next door and bought this because it was a decent price. It was 96 quid, all inclusive, including delivery. So yeah, something else for the growing pile of tools. But looking in a really nice box as well, so that should last me a while. So yeah, I think that's about it, catching up. I was looking at getting the nose cone painted and the front grille, but I think I might leave that for the moment. I'm spending enough money as it is. It shouldn't be too hard now. I've taken it off and put it back on. I know how it comes on and off, so it shouldn't be too bad. So yeah, so the first job this morning is to get the antifreeze into the tub, and I'll use this antifreeze for the sprayer next year. There's nothing wrong with it really, with the antifreeze itself, but I don't know how long it's been in for. I've topped it up. It tests alright, but what radiator's off and everything's off, I might as well just change it out. So yeah, all that stuff can go into there and get used, second-hand use into the sprayer. So yeah, let's crack on. Well, progress has been a bit rubbish today, to be honest. To be fair, I am frozen, my hands are frozen. My fleece has decided the zipper gives up, so I've got like 10 layers on. I've got a jacket over the top holding it together. Anyway, so yeah, I've put the antifreeze into the tub there, pretty much all in there, washed the tubs out. Gathered up bits I need to try and take to the place that's doing the rebuild, because they might as well do those holes as well. Make them, I think I'm going to try and strengthen them a little bit, but we'll see. But big job this morning was actually getting this sorted. So this is a rolling bench I've had for about 2 years now, 3 years, and never got around to actually doing anything with it. Had advice since I was about 17, 18 maybe. Was going to put the bolts through. They're supposed to be through there onto the table, but just decided to weld the bugger. So yeah, she's welded onto the bench, but the problem is it's only a cheap vise. It's a Chinese job, so it'll do all right. It's got the turnbuckles on it, so you can actually swivel it and pivot it around. It's quite nice, and the jaws just reach over the edge, so you can drop something down and still get to it. So that was one job to do. I did start grinding off all the bits of junk that were on here. This was actually a table my mate was getting rid of. He was going to scrap it, and I gave him a few quid for it, because, well, it makes life easier welding. So I did that. I've also spent half an hour or so trying to rebuild that, which should look a bit more like that, but I've gone a bit too deep. All this was eaten out. You can see I've missed a little bit with welding anyway, but all this was eaten out and there wasn't much left of it. So I've just gone through with welder and tried to build it back up a bit. It's not a perfect job, but it should last for a bit longer, unless I can find a proper bolt like that one, because these have only been welded in, and do a nicer job, but I'm not quite sure how they've done that. I've got no lathe to turn anything down, so buggered around for that for a bit. What else have I done? I haven't really done much else. No, I've just tightened some bolts up underneath that I loosened off the other day when I broke my big bar. Last weekend as well, my mate came up, which is why I didn't video anything. But we got the air cleaner back in again, so that's piped back up again and in. And there's 2 new air filters in it. I've not done this this piece at the end with all the writing on. If I had got it sandblasted and painted, it wouldn't be, well, all the writing would be gone. You'd still had the printed stuff in the steel, but the writing would have gone, which takes away a bit from the originality. And on the back of it, around that side, there's a panel that cups the air cleaner. Put some foam at the back of that so it didn't vibrate against the bodywork quite so much. So I just need to actually order a new one of the ends if I can get hold of one. So yeah, getting there slowly. Hopefully in the next week or so, my mate that's doing the painting for us will have the bars that run from the cab back to the nose cone here, get them on, so which means the bonnet can go back on, which is just there. But I can't get the bonnet on because it clips into the steel work that's there. But once I've got the nose cone on, the radiator can go back in. The aircon sits in front of the radiator and at the front of the nose cone that sits there. I said earlier, if I need to get the aircon radiator sorted, it's not too big a job. It's only sat at front. But the other thing was, when I took this off the aircon, there was no gas in it at all. In fact, if you look down there, it's a bit rusty. But I've no idea what happens in the aircon units. I've no idea what that is. No idea what that is, because that's part of it, I think. And then I've got some loose wires as well. So I know what that bit does, though. It makes it cold. But the rest of it's a bit of a hit and miss. I'm also thinking about getting that painted as well. Or, kind of not bronzed, but yeah, zinc plated again. Because it's just that, zinc's gone off the front of it. The idea is if I'm taking stuff off and it's in that kind of a state where it's starting to rust, I want to get it sorted out beforehand, because trying to find these parts are getting harder. Like the air filter, you can get a new one, well, that kind of detracts from the fact that it was this old girl's. So yeah, getting there anyway. The other thing I was going to show you, look how much space there is with that pickle pitch. Look at that. That must be a good ½ metre under there. And it's pretty clear all the way through to the front linkage. I think the bar, that bar there, if it goes up with linkage, which it usually does, it's all pretty much the same level. This would be awesome for doing baling and putting a European hitch on at the top. And then your swath underneath it would be massive. Your balers would love it. Especially if it's a 4-foot swath and 18 inches high, 2 foot high. So yeah. Right, that's going to be it for today. I'm kind of at a standstill. I've got no rubbers for the radiator either. So I can't really put radiator back in, plus there's a stay there for it as well that's not here. So I think I'm going to have to leave it for today and try and pick this up later on. So from the big girl and me, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, bye.